Bob Hope, born Leslie Towns Hope on May 29, 1903, in the working-class district of Eltham, London, would go on to embody the very spirit of American entertainment. His name became synonymous with comedy, resilience, and a tireless dedication to the men and women who served their country. For nearly a century, Hope was a towering figure in the world of entertainment, a man who could make a nation laugh even in the darkest of times. Yet, like many who shine brightly in the public eye, the man behind the laughter was more complex, and his life, while filled with triumphs, was also marked by challenges and a poignant ending. Hope's journey from a young immigrant in Cleveland to one of the most beloved entertainers in history is a story of perseverance, talent, and a deep understanding of what it meant to connect with an audience. But beyond the stage lights and the applause, Bob Hope's life was a tapestry woven with moments of joy, sorrow, and the inevitable march of time that would lead to a bittersweet conclusion. In exploring the real life and sad ending of Bob Hope, we uncover not just the public figure who made us laugh, but the private man who faced the same struggles and heartbreaks as anyone else. The Hope family's migration to America in 1907 was not unlike the journeys of millions of others who sought a better life in the New World. Settling in Cleveland, Ohio, the Hopes faced the challenges of poverty and the pressures of assimilation. Young Bob, the fifth of 7 children, quickly learned the value of hard work. His early jobs included selling newspapers and working as a butcher's assistant, but it was his natural inclination towards humor that set him apart. Even as a child, Hope displayed a knack for making people laugh. His comedic talent was evident in school, where he would entertain classmates with impressions and jokes. It wasn't long before Hope realized that humor could be more than just a pastime, it could be his ticket out of poverty. Hope's first formal steps into the world of entertainment were through vaudeville, a popular form of variety entertainment that featured everything from comedy to magic acts. It was in these early years that he honed his skills as a performer, developing a sharp sense of timing and a unique style of delivery that would later become his hallmark. His success on the vaudeville circuit eventually led him to Broadway, where he found his first taste of mainstream success. The Broadway stage was where Hope's talent truly began to flourish. He starred in several successful musicals, including Roberta and Ziegfeld Follies, where his comedic abilities earned him widespread recognition. But even as he was enjoying success on the stage, Hope was already eyeing the next big opportunity, radio. The 1930s marked the beginning of Bob Hope's ascent to national stardom. Radio, the dominant medium of the era, provided Hope with a platform to reach millions of listeners across the country. His debut on NBC's The Intimate Review in 1934 was the start of a long and fruitful career in broadcasting. Hope's radio shows were a mix of topical humor, celebrity interviews, and musical performances, all delivered with his trademark wit and charm. He had a unique ability to make his audience feel as though he was speaking directly to them, a skill that endeared him to listeners and made him one of the most popular radio personalities of the time. But Hope's humor wasn't just about making people laugh, it was also about providing a sense of comfort during difficult times. As the Great Depression gave way to the uncertainty of the pre-war years, Hope's radio programs became a source of solace for many Americans. His jokes often touched on current events, but always with a light touch that allowed listeners to escape, if only for a moment, the hardships of daily life. While radio made Bob Hope a household name, it was Hollywood that made him a star. His transition to film in the late 1930s was seamless, and his debut in the big broadcast of 1938 introduced audiences to Thanks for the Memory, a song that would become synonymous with his career. The film was a commercial success, and Hope's performance received critical acclaim, establishing him as one of Hollywood's leading comedic actors. Over the next few decades, Hope would star in a series of successful films, including the iconic Road 2 series alongside Bing Crosby and Dorothy Lamour. These films, known for their slapstick humor, exotic settings, and catchy musical numbers, were wildly popular and cemented Hope's status as a box office draw. The Road 2 films were more than just comedies, they were cultural phenomena that reflected the changing landscape of American entertainment. Hope and Crosby's on-screen chemistry, combined with the film's blend of humor and adventure, made them must-see events. For Hope, the success of these films was a testament to his versatility as an entertainer. He could be just as effective in a comedic skit as he was in a full-length feature film. If there was one aspect of Bob Hope's career that defined him more than any other, it was his unwavering commitment to entertaining the troops. What began during World War II as a series of performances for soldiers stationed overseas quickly became a lifelong mission. Hope's USO, United Service Organizations, tours took him to some of the most dangerous and remote parts of the world, where he brought laughter and a touch of home to men and women serving in the military. Hope's dedication to the troops was unparalleled. He performed in war zones, often at great personal risk, and his shows were a lifeline for soldiers far from home. Whether in the jungles of Southeast Asia, the deserts of the Middle East, or the frozen tundras of Europe, Hope was there, microphone in hand, ready to deliver a performance that would lift the spirits of those in uniform. The impact of Hope's USO tours cannot be overstated. For many soldiers, his shows were a reminder of what they were fighting for, their families, their country, and the values they held dear. Hope's ability to connect with the troops, to understand their fears and frustrations, and to provide a moment of levity in the midst of war, made him a beloved figure not just among the military but across the nation. Hope's service to the troops extended beyond the battlefield. He continued his USO tours during the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and even the Gulf War, long after most entertainers had retired from such endeavors. His commitment earned him numerous accolades, including the Congressional Gold Medal and the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Yet, for Hope, the greatest reward was the knowledge that he had made a difference in the lives of those who sacrificed so much. While Bob Hope's public life was filled with accolades and achievements, his personal life was more complicated. Hope married Dolores Stefina, professionally known as Dolores Reed, a singer, in 1934, and their marriage endured for nearly 7 decades, a remarkable feat in the world of Hollywood. Dolores was often by his side during his many tours and public appearances, and together they adopted 4 children, Linda, Tony, Kelly, and Nora. Despite the outward appearance of a strong and enduring marriage, rumors of infidelity plagued Hope throughout his life. Biographies and reports have suggested that Hope had numerous extramarital affairs, though he and Dolores remained together until his death. These allegations, while never fully confirmed, added a layer of complexity to Hope's public image. He was a man who brought joy to millions, yet his personal relationships were not without their challenges. Hope's personal struggles were not limited to his marriage. Like many celebrities, he faced the pressures of fame and the constant demands of a public career. The relentless pace of his work, coupled with the physical toll of decades spent on the road, began to wear on him as he aged. By the time he reached his 80s, Hope's health was in decline, and he began to step back from the grueling schedule that had defined his career. As Bob Hope entered his 90s, the signs of aging became more apparent. He suffered from a range of health issues, including vision and hearing problems, and his once energetic frame became frail. Despite these challenges, Hope remained mentally sharp and continued to engage with the world around him, even if his appearances became less frequent. Hope's 100th birthday on May 29, 2003, was celebrated with widespread admiration and affection. Although his health prevented him from participating in many of the festivities, the nation came together to honor a man who had given so much to so many. Television and radio stations dedicated special programming to Hope, recounting his storied career and the countless lives he had touched. However, the joy of reaching such a remarkable milestone was tempered by the realization that Hope's time was coming to an end. On July 27, 2003, just 2 months after his 100th birthday, Bob Hope passed away at his home in Toluca Lake, Los Angeles. The cause of death was pneumonia, a common ailment among the elderly, and one that Hope had battled in the final years of his life. Hope's death marked the end of an era. The outpouring of grief and tributes from around the world was a testament to the impact he had made over the course of his life. From presidents to ordinary citizens, people expressed their admiration for a man who had brought laughter and hope to millions. His passing was not just the loss of a beloved entertainer, it was the closing chapter of a century in which Hope had played a pivotal role.